Stop what you are doing for the next few minutes, my friend. Because if you are an older man and something inside you clicked on this video, that was not an accident. Some part of you has been carrying a question about women that you have not been able to put into words. A question that sits underneath every glance you have noticed, every conversation that went somewhere unexpected, every woman who looked at you a little longer than you thought she would. Here's the question, even if you have never said it out loud. Why would a woman want a man like me? Not the young version of you, the man you are now with the gray hair, the lines, the years, the slower mornings, the man the culture keeps telling you is past his prime, invisible, no longer in the game. Why would a woman, especially a woman with options, choose you over a younger man? Tonight, my friend, I am going to answer that question completely. And the answer is going to surprise you, because almost everything you have been told about what women want and about your own value to them as an older man is wrong. Dangerously wrong. And once you understand the truth, you will never look at yourself or at the women around you the same way again. Stay with me to the end, because the deepest truth comes last, and it is the one that changes everything. Let us begin. Let me start by naming the lie, my friend, because until you see it clearly, it will keep sabotaging you from the shadows. The lie is this, that women want youth above all else. That a man's attractiveness peaks in his 20s and declines from there. That every year past 40 makes you less desirable, less competitive, less worth a woman's attention. That the older you get, the more you must rely on money or settle for less because your actual self is no longer enough. This lie is everywhere, and here is what makes it so destructive. A man who believes it begins to act like it is true. He stops approaching women because he assumes he will be rejected. He apologizes for his age before anyone has criticized it. He shrinks in the presence of younger men, assuming he has already lost. He carries himself like a man who is no longer in the running. And women reading that defeated energy agree with his own assessment of himself. The belief creates the outcome. The lie makes itself true. But it was never true to begin with. Here is what the research, the experience, and the honest testimony of women themselves actually reveal. Attraction in women is not primarily about youth. It never was. A woman's attraction is built on something far more durable, far more available to an older man than to a younger one. It is built on how a man makes her feel, on his presence, on his security, on his depth, on the way he sees her, and every one of those things gets stronger with age, not weaker, if a man knows how to cultivate them. So, let me ask you to consider for the length of this video that the lie is wrong, that your age is not the liability you have been told it is, that it may in fact be the greatest asset you have ever possessed in the eyes of the right woman. Let me tell you what is really happening, my friend. When a woman looks at an older man and feels something she did not expect to feel, she is not seeing what you think she is seeing. You look in the mirror and you see what you have lost. The youth, the smoothness, the full head of dark hair. You catalog the decline item by item, and you assume she is cataloging it too. She is not. She is seeing something completely different. She is seeing a man who has lived, a man whose face carries a story instead of a blank, unwritten page. She is seeing the calm in your eyes that comes from having survived things that would have shattered a younger man. She is seeing the way you do not fidget, do not perform, do not desperately seek her approval the way the younger men in her life always have. She is seeing a man who seems for once like he is not afraid of her. This is the great secret that almost no older man understands. Women have spent their entire lives surrounded by men who wanted something from them, who needed their validation, who performed and pursued and crumbled. And then they meet an older man who has burned through all of that. A man who is genuinely settled in himself. A man who wants her but does not need her. A man whose sense of his own worth does not depend on whether she smiles back. To a woman who knows what she is looking at, this is intoxicating. It is the rarest thing she encounters, and it is something you possess not despite your age, but because of it. The years gave you this. The losses gave you this. The long road behind you built the very thing she finds most attractive. And you have been walking around assuming that road only took things from you. It gave you more than it took, my friend. You just never learned how to see it. Here is one of the most important things you will ever understand about women, my friend. And almost no man learns it until late in life, if he learns it at all. There is a vast difference between a woman wanting you and a woman needing you. And the older man has access to a kind of being wanted that younger men almost never achieve. A younger man is often needed. He is a project, a partner to build a life with, a provider, a co-parent. A man, a woman, attaches herself to out of practical necessity and the urgency of her own timeline. There is need woven all through that kind of attraction. And need, while powerful, is not the same as desire. Need can curdle into resentment. Need can feel like a cage. But an older man, a man whose life is already built, who is not a project to be completed, who does not need her to rescue him or complete him, offers a woman something different. He offers her the chance to be with him purely because she wants to be. Not because she needs his potential, not because her clock is forcing her hand, simply because his presence adds something to her life that she chooses freely to keep. This is a higher form of being wanted, my friend. To be chosen by a woman who does not need you, but wants you anyway, is one of the purest experiences a man can have. And it is far more available to the older man precisely because he is no longer the desperate, striving, incomplete creature that a younger man so often is. The older man who understands this stops trying to make himself needed. He stops auditioning. He stops proving his usefulness. He simply becomes a man worth wanting, and then he lets the right woman want him. That shift from needed to wanted is one of the most powerful transformations an older man can make in how he relates to women. Now, let me tell you something that should change how you walk into every room. My friend, while you have been assuming that women want younger men, there is a whole population of women who are quietly, sometimes desperately, looking for exactly what an older man offers, and almost no one talks about them. These are women who have already dated the younger men, who have already been through the relationships built on novelty and intensity and instability, who have been with men who could not hold a conversation, could not hold their ground, could not hold them. These women are not looking for more of that. They are exhausted by it. What they are looking for is depth, steadiness, a man who can actually see them, a man who listens instead of waiting to talk, a man who has the emotional vocabulary that only comes from having lived and lost and reflected, a man who is not intimidated by their strength, not threatened by their success, not rattled by their moods. A man who can be a calm center in a chaotic world. This is what the older man offers, and these women know it. They are not settling when they choose an older man. They are upgrading. They have figured out something that the culture refuses to admit, which is that the qualities that actually make a relationship work, presence, security, wisdom, emotional steadiness, the capacity to truly see another person, are qualities that deepen with age. So while you have been counting yourself out, my friend, there are women out there counting themselves in. Women who would walk past a room full of younger men to reach the older man in the corner who carries himself with quiet certainty. You do not have to become someone else to attract them. You simply have to understand that they exist, that they are looking, and that what they are looking for is what you have already become. But I have to warn you about something, my friend, because this is where most older men sabotage everything they have going for them. The single biggest mistake an older man makes with women is apologizing for his age. And he does it constantly, usually without realizing it. He makes the self-deprecating jokes, "Oh, you do not want an old man like me." He brings up the age gap before anyone else has. He assumes rejection and behaves accordingly, holding himself back, dimming his own light, treating his years as a defect he must constantly acknowledge and excuse. And here is the tragedy of it. Every time he apologizes for his age, he confirms the very lie he is afraid of. He tells the woman through his behavior that he himself believes he is less. And she believes him, not because his age was actually a problem, but because his apology made it one. Confidence is the silence around the things you do not need to explain. Insecurity is the constant pointing at the wound. The older man who succeeds with women does the opposite. He does not apologize for his age. He does not joke about it. He does not bring it up as a defect. He simply lives inside it with total ease. The way a man lives inside a well-made coat that has shaped itself to his body over years. He treats his age as a fact, neither hidden nor highlighted, neither defended nor excused. When you stop apologizing for your years, something remarkable happens. The woman in front of you stops seeing them as a problem too, because she takes her cue from you. If you are at peace with your age, she is at peace with it. If you carry it like an asset, she experiences it as one. Your relationship to your own age becomes her relationship to it. This is one of the most powerful and least understood dynamics in all of attraction, and mastering it costs you nothing but the willingness to stop apologizing for being exactly who you are. Now we come to the deepest truth, my friend. The one I told you would change everything. The one that almost no one ever says. Here it is. Women are not primarily attracted to what a man is. They are attracted to how a man makes them feel about themselves. Sit with that because it reorganizes everything. The younger man with all his physical advantages often makes a woman feel anxious, uncertain, competed for, unsure of where she stands. The wrong older man makes her feel like a caretaker or a trophy or a project. But the right older man, the man who has done his inner work, makes a woman feel something she has been searching for her entire life. He makes her feel seen, truly seen, all the way down, in a way no one has ever seen her before. He makes her feel safe. Not the shallow safety of comfort, but the deep safety of being near a man whose center cannot be moved. He makes her feel interesting because he actually listens, actually asks, actually wants to understand her. He makes her feel like she can finally put down the armor she has carried through a lifetime of dealing with men who could not handle her. This is the secret behind everything we have talked about tonight. The watch, the coat, the confidence, the presence, the absence of fear, the refusal to apologize. None of it matters as a collection of techniques. It only matters because of how it makes a woman feel when she is in your presence. And the older man, the one who has become wise and steady and whole, has a greater capacity to make a woman feel this way than any younger man alive. You do not attract a woman by being younger. You attract her by becoming the kind of man whose presence makes her feel more like herself. And that man is not behind you in your youth. That man is available to you right now, at the exact age you are, with everything your life has taught you. So there it is, my friend. Everything every older man should understand about women. That the lie about youth has been quietly defeating you. That women see something in you that you have not learned to see in yourself. That being wanted is higher than being needed, and you have access to it. That the right women are looking for exactly what you have become. That apologizing for your age is the one mistake that costs you everything. And that in the end, attraction is not about what you are, but about how you make her feel. But I want to leave you with the truth beneath all the others. You are not running out of time, my friend. You are not too old. You are not past your prime. The prime of a man. The real prime. The prime that women who know what they want are actually searching for does not arrive in his 20s. It arrives later, after the fire, after the losses, after the long road that taught him who he is. You have walked that road. The only thing left is to stop believing the lie that told you. The road only took things from you. It gave you more than it took. It gave you the very things that make a man worth choosing. And the moment you understand that, the moment you stop apologizing and start standing fully in the man your years have made you, the women around you will feel the change before you have said a single word. You were never out of the game, my friend. You were just told you were, and you believed it. Stop believing it. Become the man your life has prepared you to be, and let the right woman feel what it is like to finally be in the presence of a man who is not afraid, who is not apologizing, and who sees her all the way down. If this reached something in you, leave a like. Subscribe for more honest conversations about women, attraction, and aging without apology. And tell me in the comments which truth tonight hit you the hardest, or which one you needed to hear most. Until next time, my friend, stand tall, stop apologizing, and never again believe that the best of you is behind you. It is not. It is right here, waiting for you to claim it.